Welcome to 12 Gauge Investigative.
In the shadows where the truth hides deep, echoes of the lost and the secrets they keep. Cold cases burn in the back of your mind. We dig through the dark, one, two at a time. This ain't fiction, this is blood, this is truth. 12 Gauge Investigative, justice uncaged. We ask the questions that too scared to say, shining a light where the guilty pray. From killers to whispers, we won't look away.
All right. How's everybody doing on this Sunday evening? My name is 12 Gauge, and this is my channel, 12 Gauge Investigative. I hope everybody's having a wonderful Sunday. You know, I thought I'd get on here and just mostly just BS, I guess. Wanted to change the backdrop because not really pertinent to what I'm talking about. So, how's everybody doing on this Sunday? Most people watch football on this Sunday. Most people getting ready for the week. Most people, this might be your weekend off. This might be a time to reflect, a time to get back in order what you might need to get back in order. For me, it's a time just to kind of reflect and get back into the daily grind tomorrow. I don't know how many people actually have the weekend or the Tuesday off, but there's a lot of us that have Veterans Day off, so we have to always remember the reason that we get that day off is not just because it's entitled, but a lot of people lost their, people have served in the military, and we need to be able to kind of give thanks for their service. You know what I mean? The other night I was at this military or this air base bunker kind of thing. It was a hangar actually, and it really made me reflect a lot on all that I don't really know about the military or airplanes or things like that. So I thought to myself, that might be a goal for 2026 to actually gain understanding of what the aeronautics field or things like that really are all about. Maybe get into some airplanes and stuff and really understand it. Because that'd be a heck of a hobby for a lot of people. They already are into that hobby. They go to air shows, they go to things like that. I don't know if you live in the Florida area. I know that they have the Blue Angels. I know that I used to live in Delaware, and we went and saw the Thunderbirds. I as a young kid, so therefore, it was always interesting. But for some reason, I never carried that interest past childhood. You know what I mean? So, is there anybody in the chat who has family in the military, past, present, or have you served in the military before? Because if you have, thank you so much for for your service. Um, as far as true crime, I was gonna do the second part of the Dylan Mortensen interview, but it pissed me off that it copyrighted me, and I had to cut a lot of the stuff that I did. I had to cut it out of that long ass live that I did last night. So I don't feel like doing that again. Don't feel like doing that again. Because it's annoying. I don't know if you understand the annoyance of spending all that time and energy, even though I'm doing nothing but sitting here, but spending that time and that energy to have YouTube be able to say, nah, we're not going to give you that time. We're not going to allow you to monetize that because blah, blah, blah. I didn't get a strike, thank God, but still, it was something that was quite annoying. So I decided not to do the second part. I might break it down where it's not as long so that, I don't have to worry about that, but it makes you leery to even use anything on YouTube. I don't know how people get away with it most of the time. I know yesterday I even put the um fair use up before I even did it. You know, I said for educational value, blah blah blah, all that lingo, and they still made a big deal. Oh, that's awesome. Says I've seen them both live in North Kansas City, and the B-52 stealth bomber flies over my house before every Chiefs game. That's awesome. That is awesome indeed. I went to the USS Alabama Museum in Mobile, Alabama, and they had replicas of the B-52 out in the parking lot, and you could get into the the air carrier, and you could do the submarine all in one tour. I tell you, by the time we got through the air carrier, the USS Alabama, um, we didn't even make it. Um, we didn't even make it to the sub. We didn't, and I mean, it was a lot of walking, a lot of climbing, a lot of stuff. So if you've never been to that area, if you've never had that experience, I wholeheartedly recommend it because it is fun, it is educational, and if you have any difficulties with walking or anything like that, you might you might find a way to only go certain floors or whatever. I don't remember if they had like handicap ramps or anything like that, but I do know it was you did have to walk down steps. You had to walk up steps, and it allowed you um, to really see a lot of the stuff. Let me see if I can find that video. That way, I can show you if you've never been there exactly what I'm talking about. Because I made a video with all that stuff in it, and that would give you some kind of insight as to what I'm talking about. Let me see if I can find it. But I hope you guys are having a wonderful Sunday, that y'all been able to have a joyful weekend. Um, because life is really fast, man. It's really fast, and if you don't enjoy yourself, sometimes it you burn out quick. You burn out quick. That's why a lot of these individuals that discuss these cases, it seems like they really burn out really fast. You can tell that they're tired. You can tell that they're really not into it. You can tell that they're really overwhelmed with discussing the same thing over and over. Um, it really does make you jaded after a while when you believe something so heartedly that um, that you can't change, and you keep talking about it. I can't see it. I know I made a video on it. Whether it got much traction, mm, that's neither here nor there, but I know I made a video about it. Let's see. I'm going to find it. Because that nothing drives me crazy than talking about something and then leaving you hanging. Like, okay, 12, what the hell, man? You were talking about this and you didn't even show us what you were talking about. Um, I have a lot of videos on different things in my library. If you've never been into my page, you might go check it out because there's a lot of stuff in there, and it's not all um, Idaho 4. There's a lot of Idaho 4, but it's not all Idaho 4. Let me see if I did a live on it. I'm just going to quit messing around with that. I'm going to go to where I know it's at. So those of you that are in the chat might be looking from afar. Let us know where you're from, how long you've been a part of the channel. If you have an understanding of what the channel's about, let us know how you're doing. Otherwise, it's interesting that I know where this stuff is because I make a lot of videos on Canva, so it saves your stuff. So it allows you to go back and find anything that you presented. And I know I presented it because I have a lot of the video stuff uploaded. So I know that I've done it before. And I think, see, because I did the Gainesville Ripper. I think this one's it. I know I did one with a lot of water. That one's only 8 minutes long, though. Yeah, I did one with a lot of water. How many of you are getting like winter weather right now? Because believe it or not, here in Texas, the weather has dipped down to, I think it was 48 today. Which 48 doesn't sound cold for a lot of people, but when you're used to the weather being up in the 80s and 90s most of the time and then it dips down like that, it's a huge change. You know what I mean? Let's see. So Common sense. You talked about the Chiefs. So you're a Chief fan? I'm a Chicago Bears fan. So they won today, barely. I don't know if all of you um, watch football or you don't. Because there's a lot of people that don't watch football. They don't like it. There's people that just like baseball. They like basketball. You know, one thing I might have to start watching is the WNBA because it seems like they get down a little harder than the guys do. So I think that'd be interesting to watch. And like always, when I'm trying to find something, you can never find it. Um, can never find it. But it's in here. I know it is because I remember doing it. Sometimes I believe y'all think, man, this dude just talked a bunch of smack. He lies half the time. He don't do half the stuff he says. He's crazy. Blah blah blah. I get it because here it is right here. Let me. Well, at least that's the start of it. Okay, there's that one. There's that one. I think it was this one right here. It has, yeah, it's this one. Let me download this one right quick and I'll show you guys exactly what I'm talking about. Because there are a lot of videos about the aircraft carrier, and there's a lot of videos on the vacation and stuff like that. So 27 there. Wow, our bye weekend. Not here in the Red Kingdom. Everyone is a Chief fan. Whoa. Well, Mahomes went to Texas Tech, so you know that is that. Mahomes went to Tech, so you know, and he is a Texas boy. He went to high school in White House, Texas, which is over there by Tyler, and um, so he's all about. He's all about the Texas landscape. You know what I mean? I have nothing against Patrick. I just want to see different people win the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? I don't necessarily want to see the Eagles win again, but I'd like to see a different team win this year. That would be nice. It really would. And I bet I'm going to get a lot of drama from people like, well, he has a weight room background, blah blah blah. You know why that is? Because that seems to be a big part of my life right now. I was going to work out and do a lot of stuff to get myself back in physical shape as well as mental shape because I don't know whether you guys work out or whether you run, whether you meditate, whether you do yoga, anything like that. You know, it's needed because the older you get, things start to break down. And I don't know about you, but it seems like a lot of people have have issues regarding health problems, and I don't know. I don't want to be one of those people because I know that heart disease runs in my family. I know that stuff like that. I've had grandparents pass away due to heart disease, congestive heart problems, and stuff like that. And the older you get, you wanna maintain a level of health that assists you in the long run. I was supposed to do a live with somebody yesterday or Friday, and it wasn't Jeff. Jeff stepped in and he did a wonderful job. But the individual that I was supposed to do the live with just stood me up, and I haven't even heard from him. And I wonder what happened. I mean, that's one thing about that case is there's some people that will talk about it with you off camera, but on camera they don't want to talk about it with you. I don't know why, but Jeff and I have been able to talk about that case for a very long time. Him and I have gone countless hours discussing different variations of the case, different sides of it. And it's always intriguing what you find out every time you're talking about that case. But you can only talk about it so much. You can only talk about it so much. Like right now, I wish I was out and about, but I can't. In my mind, it doesn't make sense for me to spread myself thin, especially when I'm going to have to be on call this week. And being on call is not for a faint of heart. If you've ever been on call, you understand what I'm talking about. That phone can ring at any hour of the night, and you must answer and go regardless how tired you are. I stopped. I've stopped doing certain things during that week because that phone can ring at any time. It can really ring at any time. And I'm just kind of talking right now while this downloads. I thought I had this on my page, but I guess I didn't. Um, Let me see something else to talk about. Let me talk about this. This is something interesting. It's kind of sports related too while that downloads. Let's talk about this. I don't know if I have any Dallas Cowboy fans in the chat or if I have any Cowboys fans at all that heard about this tragedy. This happened the other day. It was an individual that played for the Dallas Cowboys. His name was Marshawn Kneeland. He was 24 years old, I believe, and he got in a high-speed chase with the law and ended in tragedy. Here we go.
Have you ever wondered what unspoken battles people fight every day? Sometimes the brightest stars hide the deepest pain. Today, we're looking at the heartbreaking story of Marshawn Kneeland, a rising NFL player whose life was tragically cut short, and the final messages he sent to those he loved. Before we dive in, please remember to subscribe and hit the like button if you appreciate stories like these.
So Marshawn Kneeland, on Monday night, he had a huge game. He blocked a punt, and by, I guess, Friday, he was gone.
Marshawn Kneeland, a defensive end for the Dallas Cowboys, was found dead in Texas on November 6th. The circumstances surrounding his death have left many heartbroken and searching for answers Hours before his body was discovered, Marshawn reached out to his family with a chilling message. According to police dispatch audio, Marshawn sent a group text saying goodbye. His family, understandably, became immediately concerned for his welfare to have. His girlfriend, Catalina, also.
So if you guys know anybody that's struggling with mental health, anybody that's struggling with issues that have to do with depression or anything like that, please make sure that you listen to them. Please make sure that you are that ear that they may need to speak to. Um, because this young man supposedly had severe depression.
Contacted authorities, revealing that Marshawn had a history of mental illness and expressed fears he would take his own life. The tragedy unfolded after Marshawn was involved in a car chase with Texas Department of Public Safety troopers the night before. He refused to stop for a traffic violation, leading to a brief pursuit. Troopers eventually lost sight of his vehicle, which was later found abandoned after a crash in the early morning hours. Authorities located Marshawn's body near the crashed vehicle. The Collin County Medical Examiner's Office.
I mean, that goes to tell you that just because you're an athlete, just because you have financial stability, because you have people that know your name, that you have these kind of attributes, doesn't mean that you couldn't be facing situations that people know about, but they really don't understand how to help you, where to get you some help. I did a little dive on this case. I'm not a Dallas Cowboy fan, but the situation was sad. It seems that he was undergoing psychiatric tests with the team doctors and he was passing those tests. So it's not like there was a lot of red flags, like, people dropped the ball concerning this guy. He was being evaluated almost on a weekly basis, and he was passing those tests. So this was known, but not as much as it should have been um, looked into, obviously.
This is currently working to determine the official cause of death. Marshawn's family released a moving statement describing him as a devoted son, brother, and friend. They emphasized the immense loss felt by all who knew him, remembering his bright spirit and the impact he had on countless lives. Marshawn's journey to the NFL began in high school, where he was a standout athlete. He excelled on both sides of the ball, racking up impressive tackles, sacks, receptions, and yards. He continued.
And for anybody who's ever played the sport or you watched the sport for multitudes of years, you understand that everything has shrunken down, from the shoulder pads to these individuals not even wanting to wear knee pads. They hardly wear thigh pads. It's almost like they don't want to wear the protective things because it doesn't look cool. It doesn't look sleek. It's like a hindrance. So these helmets, no matter what they say about concussion proof and all this and that and the other, these helmets are not as thick as they used to be. People got concussions back in the day, but those helmets were a lot more durable. These are more lightweight, and because I'm sure people complained about the weight of the helmet, because they weigh some, they used to weigh pretty good, but they had the interior where I had helmets where you would be able to pump up the inside. They were Nikes. You'd pump up the inside, and it would give you a shell compression of air that whatever you hit, it cushioned your brain. It cushioned your head. But now they don't have all that. They just have that helmet with foam padding a lot of times, or areas that could lead very easily to head damage. And the more time you hit your head, CTE is a real thing.
His football career at Western Michigan University, where he honed his skills and became a dominant force on the field. His work ethic and dedication set him apart from his peers. His coach, David Denham, noted that Marshawn consistently went above and beyond, always striving to improve and push himself to the limit. In 2024, Marshawn was drafted by the Dallas Cowboys as a second-round pick. Team owner Jerry Jones immediately saw his potential, promising him a star in his helmet. Marshawn and
So those of you that aren't relevant to football, second round, that's a pretty damn good pick. There's 7 rounds, so going into second round means that you're highly touted after. So going into second round meant that he was pretty damn good, and going to the Cowboys, of course, gave him almost instant status because they are reserved as America's team.
embraced the opportunity with enthusiasm, eager to prove himself in the NFL. He was excited to be part of the Cowboys organization and to pursue his dream. He carried that same work ethic into his professional career, preparing tirelessly for his first season. He approached the game with a relentless drive and determination. He was determined to remain true to his playing style, focusing on his strengths and bringing his signature energy to the field. Over the course of this almost 2 seasons with the Cowboys, Marshawn amassed 26 tackles and 1 sack in 18 games, including 4 starts. Just days before his death, Marshawn scored his first touchdown in the league, a moment of triumph that highlighted his potential. His agent, Jonathan Persley, spoke of Marshawn's unwavering commitment, describing him as a player who poured his heart into every aspect of the game. It's a stark reminder that even those who seem to have it all are sometimes fighting battles we know nothing about.
See, he said it too. That's why it's so important, if you have anybody in your life that does suffer from mental health issues or does suffer from depression, anxiety, any kind of mental health disorder, especially during these holidays that are coming up, make sure that you don't take anything they say for granted, because we're getting to the time of year when a lot of people, as unfortunate as it is, they do some very impulsive things that a lot of times cost a lot of pain in their families. So be very mindful of your loved ones during these holidays and beyond.
And sometimes a simple "how are you" can make all the difference. Speaking of differences, what's the difference between a football player and a detective? One chases tackles, the other tackles cases. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.
But that was a summary of Marshawn Kneeland. I don't know, unless you've been under a rock this last week, then you wouldn't know anything about it. I mean, I'm sure you've heard about it. Just, it's nothing that would jump out at you, especially if you don't follow football. There's a lot of football news going on that is true crime related. Another player, his name is Antonio Brown. I don't know if you know who that is, but Antonio Brown used to play with the Steelers. He used to play with the Steelers, and then he went and played for Tampa Bay with Tom Brady. Won a Super Bowl there, um, and then he quit one day. He just walked off the field. Walked off the field. Walked off from everything and everybody, and his life has gone downhill ever since. He is suspected of a shooting or a murder, and let's see exactly what they have to say.
Well, after nearly 6 months on the run, detectives have found former NFL star Antonio Brown.
So Antonio Brown says he was jumped and had to defend himself. But if that's true, then explain why police say he grabbed somebody else's gun and started shooting.
Brown was wanted for attempted murder after police say he shot at someone during an amateur boxing event.
Attempted murder, not aggravated assault, not reckless discharge, attempted murder.
Okay, so attempted murder is his charge. So, grabbed somebody else's gun, supposedly, and started shooting. Stand your ground. He was in Florida, and we've covered a case where stand your ground was, part of the MO that the lady was talking about, The Perfect Neighbor, the show on Netflix. But this is a professional athlete.
That's not a charge you hand out because someone defended themselves. That's a charge you file when somebody goes on the offensive.
Detectives say in May, Brown shot at someone at a boxing event in Miami's Little Haiti neighborhood. An arrest warrant says Brown got into a fight with a man. Moments later, gunshots.
All right, so a fight breaks out, things get heated, and gunfire erupts. So far, we're somewhere between mutual combat and felony stupid. But then they say this.
Investigators say when they searched Brown, they didn't find a gun on him or anyone who was hurt, so they let him go. Investigators say they later watched surveillance and cell phone videos, which showed Brown grabbing a gun off a security officer and going towards the man he just fought.
That right there is where everything goes to.
I mean, that's what you have to ask yourself is what gives people that mentality at that point? Okay, you're having this situation go down. You perceive this person as wanting to hurt you. Why are you going to grab a weapon and make it worse, especially if you're not being physically hurt at that time? So grabbing a weapon and shooting into the crowd was not obviously the right thing to do, but so many people are gun happy these days. And, it's hard to understand that. It really is. Let's continue on.
Hell, if you're being attacked and you grab a gun to defend yourself in the moment, that's one thing. But once the fight's over and you grab someone else's gun and go after the person who hit you, that's not exactly defense. That's more like retaliation. And the law treats those two things very differently.
Miami police say while Brown was on the run, he posted videos to social media.
He was kind of like taunting us, like saying, "Hey, I'm safe here."
Posting taunts while you're on the run, essentially. Yeah, that's called exhibit.
And then going on the run, that only makes your situation worse. You know what I mean? If you're accused of doing a crime, go turn yourself in. You're saying 12. That's crazy. Nobody's going to turn themselves in. You're stupid for even saying that. Well, think about that a minute. If you really were defending yourself, go turn yourself in. But he went on to run.
But and you're not helping your case folder. And that's the thing. You see, when you piss off the law a lot of times, it doesn't care how famous you are or how much money you've got.
Of course.
It cares about your actions at that point. The question remains, was Antonio Brown defending himself, or was this a celebrity meltdown with a gun in hand? Let's break down what the law actually says about this kind of situation, because if this is what it looks like, it's bad. All right, let's get into this deeper, because at first glance, this doesn't look like a defensive gun use. So, according to Breitbart, former NFL wide receiver Antonio Brown was arrested in Dubai and is being extradited to Miami to be tried for attempted murder following a shooting on May 17th. So right off the bat, attempted murder. That's the
So everybody that's listening right now, do you believe that this individual will be not exonerated, but he'll be indicted of these charges? Because right now he's only being suspected. They arrested him. He's being extradited. He's going to face a magistrate, have the charges read against them, given the opportunity to plead, and then, let the judicial process go from there. Do you believe that he will be indicted for this attempted murder based on what you've heard? Let me know in the chat or in the comments after replay or whatever you do. Let me know.
Highest level intent-based charge you can catch short of actually killing someone. And here's the wild part. Security staff intervened, and Brown allegedly grabbed a pistol from one of them and used it to fire 2 shots at the guy he allegedly was fighting with. Grabbing a security guard's pistol to then go track somebody down to shoot at him is wild. That one sentence tells you everything you need to know about why this isn't probably going to fly in court. You can't just take somebody else's gun, chase someone down, and then claim self-defense. That's not defense.
And one thing that many people don't understand when it comes to self-defense, if that individual is not coming at you, then you're not classified as in danger. If that individual was not facing Mr. Brown and he was either running away or he was on the ground and not on Mr. Brown, then self-defense doesn't apply in that situation, especially grabbing the gun of a security guard. I mean, at that point, he could have ran away. He could have, gotten in the car. But no, he chose to go after the gun and take matters into his own hand. But Mr. Brown's been known to make some decisions that were not the best.
Of life. That's offense with somebody else's gun. So Brown said he was the victim of an attempted robbery, which he claimed led to the fight and shots being fired. Now, okay, let's say he was jumped. Let's say they were actually trying to rob him for his jewelry. Here's the problem. You can't use lethal force to defend property in most states. Texas is one of the few exceptions, but even then, it's complicated as hell. And this didn't happen in Texas. This happened in Miami. So now we're talking about Florida. And in Florida, you can use deadly force only when you're in reasonable fear of imminent death or great bodily harm, not when you're chasing someone down because they pissed you off. But
so if he was being robbed, Texas is the only state, like you said, where it could be justified. But it said, I would jump by multiple individuals who tried to steal my jewelry and cause physical harm to me. Brown said afterward in a social media post, police temporarily detained me until they received my side of the story and then released me. I went home that night and was not arrested. Brown is accused of second-degree attempted murder, which carries a maximum penalty of 15 years in prison and a $10,000 fine. Brown is a Miami native who played for the Pittsburgh Steelers from 2010 to 2019, played one game with the Patriots in 2019, and spent his last 2 seasons with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers before retiring after the 2021 season. And then it goes into his stats. Many consider him to be the NFL's best active wide receiver, and Brown helped the Buccaneers win the 2021 Super Bowl. So I don't know. It just doesn't seem like he's going to beat this one.
Antonio Brown goes on to say that police temporarily detained him until they received his side of the story and then released him. He says, I went home that night and was not arrested. Now, that part actually makes sense. At first, they didn't have a victim or weapon, but later, one of the guys said a bullet grazed his neck. And when they pulled the surveillance, they saw Antonio grabbing the gun and chasing after the man. That's the kind of evidence prosecutors love because it destroys.
So he was chasing after him. If that's true, like I just told you, you cannot be claiming self-defense if you're chasing after somebody, shooting at them as they're fleeing away from you.
Any reasonable claim of fear. Now, look, I'm not saying Antonio Brown is absolutely, definitely guilty. That's for a court to decide. But when you've got video, witnesses, and ballistics all telling the same story, that's not bad optics. That's a bad case. And this isn't even about fame. This is about understanding the difference between self-defense.
Thank you for that. Thank you for gifting those membership. That means a lot. Thank you for your kindness.
Defensive property, and retaliation. Because a lot of people think if someone touches your stuff, you can just pull a gun out. No, you can't do that. That's not how this works. You can't pursue someone who's retreating. You can't escalate a fight. You already left. And you definitely can't grab a guard's gun and open fire in public. That's every defensive gun use instructor's nightmare scenario. Which brings me to this. This case is exactly why USCCA sponsors this channel, because they don't just protect you legally and financially, they protect you before it even happens by giving you the training, education, and knowledge you need so that if you ever have to defend yourself, you'll know the law, the limits, and the moment where self-defense stops and retaliation begins. If Antonio Brown—
And one thing that is mindful of everything that you go through, especially if you're a gun owner, know your rights, know the state's right that you're in. I mean, because all states have different laws concerning, weapons. Know where you're at. Know what self-defense really means in that state. I can tell you, not many places will go with the person is running away from you and you're shooting at them as self-defense. I mean, if they're leaving your presence and you're shooting at them, your life is not in danger at that point.
Brown had that knowledge, maybe he wouldn't be fighting for his freedom right now. Because the truth is, the difference between freedom and 15 years in prison often comes down to what you knew in those few seconds before you pulled the trigger. So if you carry a gun or ever think you might need to, make sure you're protected legally, financially, and mentally. Click the link in the description section and check out USCCA. They'll help you prepare so you don't end up like Antonio Brown, armed, angry, and arrested. Now, I'm not saying Antonio Brown's story is over, but based on what we're seeing, this ain't really looking like self-defense. It's a cautionary tale of what happens when emotion takes over logic and the gun becomes a tool for vengeance instead of protection. And that's not something any of us should ever want to go viral for. One thing's for certain and two things are for sure.
I like this guy's perspective. Let me tell you what his channel is called. That way you can go and subscribe if you wish. It's called Colion Noir, COLIONNOIR. Thank you so much, Mr. Noir, for making that video. I was merely just offering commentary. So go and subscribe if you haven't already. Give him a like. It's terrible that we have such a misunderstanding about gun laws. Hey, JB. And this is the QR code for Feed More in Virginia. I have this up and I will have this up throughout the holidays. And here's another one for breast cancer awareness. And this one is for the American Heart Association. So if you want to donate to any of those causes, make sure that you hit the QR code, go to those pages and donate whatever you wish. I'm not asking for any money because I don't get any of that money. So it doesn't matter to me one way or the other whether you donate or whether you don't. But if you do, you can donate on the website and for a good cause. And the holidays are a tough time for a lot of people. They really are. A lot of people are struggling, and many people have a lot of issues that are going on during the holiday season that the holiday season makes even more substantial because of the joy of the season, if you understand what I mean. You have this perception that everybody is happy and joyful and everybody has more than enough and all this stuff, where in reality most people are struggling. They're struggling with financial issues, they're struggling with food, they're struggling with a lot of different things. And most of the time their pride won't let them reach out for help, you know? Um, so that's why one of the reasons why I have these QR codes up. Um, so that if you decide that you want to be one of those individuals to donate $1, 50 cents, $2 to these websites, it helps not only fund research, it also funds these food banks to be able to give to people who are struggling financially. Because I'm not one of those people that believes that, people shouldn't deserve to be helped. Because it's kind of like this. If I'm driving down the freeway and I see a person say, "Hey, I need some money because of this, that, and the other," if I have it and I give it, who am I to say how that person can spend their money? If I gave it to them, I gave it to them. If they're responsible with it, they're responsible with it. If they're not, they're not. I mean, it's not my job to say, well, he said he was going to go get something to eat, and I saw him walk into the store and buy a beer. Okay, well, obviously that's what he wanted to do with the money that you gave him. I mean, you could either never give again, or you could continuously, not worry about it. If you have it to give, you have it to give, because I don't know about y'all, but I've been in points in my life where I didn't have it. And I've had a lot of people help me out throughout the years to be where I'm at today. So, anytime that I can help somebody out, that's how I look at it. I don't look at it as, I need to broadcast that I helped this person. I need to tell everybody that I did this, I did that. I just look at it as, you know what? I helped this person out. Nobody needs to know, just me and that person. So, I hope that you're enjoying some of the stuff that we're talking about tonight. I know that I've gone from the military to sports. Now I'm back around to the military. It's like a boomerang effect. It always comes back full circle. I finally downloaded the video. So let's go ahead and watch what I downloaded. I don't know what the music is on this, so I know it's not going to be copyrighted because
Windows down, breeze in my hair, flip-flops tapping on the rhythm of the air. Golden rays paint the sky so wide. Got no worries, just the tide on my side. Cooler packed, we're headed to the shore. Sun-kissed laughter, who could ask for more? Radios play.
Okay, there's the USS Alabama that I was telling you about. And as you can see, look how big that ship is. I mean, the picture doesn't do it justice. I was at the gift shop at this point taking this picture.
In that sweet old tune, dancing in the sand till the rise of the moon. It's a summertime state of mind, drifting like clouds, leaving stress behind.
And see, this was on the deck. I was standing behind this artillery gun, and that is over the Gulf of America or the Gulf of Mexico, whichever one you prefer it to be called.
Fireflies and ocean nights, we're chasing dreams in the warm daylight. Yeah, we're living so free, feeling so right. In a summertime state of my mind.
And see, there's that gift shop. And here's some of those planes that I was telling you about. They had a lot of planes and replicas all over the ground. And this was the B-52 bomber. As you enter this this little building on the left there with the flag, that's where you paid, and they had a lot of stuff in there as well. And I'm sure I got some photos of that later on.
The ice cream melting down our hands, sunburn lines and beach tan plans, midnight swims and bonfire sparks, neon skies lighting up the dark.
See, this is a workshop down in the warship or the aircraft carrier, and all these tools were just still in there. You know what I mean? Like somebody was working down there.
Lemonade lips and cherry kisses, floating through a world of summer wishes. No clocks, no plans, just me and you, living every second like it's brand new.
And this was a replica of an individual that this was their bunk area. It's very little. I mean, I'm telling you, sailors must have been a lot smaller back then, because either that or I'm just a big dude. Because as I was going through those doorways, you know, those alarms would have been sounding and everything. I would have been like hitting the sides and everything else. It was a little bitty area, and my family that was with me, they're not very big people, and they were, you know, they were like hulking through those doorways.
It's a summertime state of mind, barefoot hearts and starry skies align, barbecue smoke and backyard fights with water.
See what I mean? That doorway is not huge at all. It looks big right there, but when there's a step up that you have to step over, it shrinks that doorway down.
Water balloons and porch light nights. Oh, we're laughing too loud, running out of time. In a summertime state of mind.
See, there's the list of the 1942 USS Alabama crewmen, 1947, that lost their lives.
We got freckles on our shoulders, dreams on replay, sunset stories that never fade away. Hold my hand, let's never rewind, let's stay lost in this summertime. It's a summertime state of mind.
And here's some of the older stuff that was at that time period. This is what obviously they look like. You can see the Camel cigarettes and the bins of tobacco and soap and stuff like that. It's pretty interesting.
Where the good vibes and sunshine are.
See, there was a Butterfinger, a cigarette pack, matches. It was very, very detailed.
From sunrise glow to midnight ride, we're free as the waves and twice as wild. Yeah, it's love and life forever.
And see, these were bunks as well, but they were all hanging together with chains. So you would jump up there and sleep, I guess, if you were working in this department.
In a summertime state of mind.
And they're not very big either.
Yeah, we're never looking back, just chasing the sun down the line. In the summertime, stay
I don't know if any of y'all remember those old-timey coffee maker there. It is a tight fit. See, that's my niece and nephew.
the door, suitcase in the back. Map's got coffee stains, but we're still on track. Chasing down the sun with the windows low. Got no plans, just a radio. And the sand keeps calling like a postcard scene. I swear this life was made for you and me. We're in a sunset state of mind, where the waves don't care about time. With you, it all feels right, even wrong turn.
See, they had the replica of the bacon and sausage and stuff on the stove. And they had, you know, obviously the cooks in there. It was pretty cool.
Sunshine, no clock, no rush, just sky so wide. We're living in a sunset state of mind.
And that is an officer's bunk. And see, there's another doorway that gives you the kind of, I mean, it wasn't big at all. Imagine having to run through the doorway. You know what I mean? Imagine having to run through these doorways.
Laughing through a game of frisbee in the breeze. Your hair's a little wild from the Salton Sea. Ice cream melting faster than we planned, but I wouldn't trade this mess for anything, man. That boardwalk light's still glowing, our shadows stretching long. Even the tide knows we belong.
See, I thought that was pretty cool. They had somebody's x-rays on the thing and you could actually see it. It was pretty awesome, man. I mean, this tour was badass. And it didn't cost that much either. I think it was like $12 a person or $14.
Sunset state of
And I think this was the dental area where they have everything set up.
mind, where the days all blur in sunshine. No work, no stress, just peace we find on this stretch of coastline. Hearts unwind and troubles slide. We're living in a sunset state of mind. Every mile we roam feels like home. Every laugh is a memory grown. We've got time and time's got plans to leave our footprints in the sand. Yeah, we're in a sunset state of mind.
I mean, it's almost like its own little city down there. I mean, you have everything you need. Dental office, you have, you know, it looked like it had a place where you could get your hair and, you know, everything, the commissary, all that.
No rear view, just blue and kind. Forever starts where ocean meets sky. Your hand in mine. So let's toast the days we can't rewind. Still living in a sunset state of mind.
You're probably going to hear that song at least 2 more times, so I hope it doesn't bore you. And there's nothing wrong with that, live scan. Nothing wrong with that at all.
Flip flops by the door, suitcase in the back. Maps got coffee stains, but we're still on track. Chasing down the sun.
I thought this was cool because it was an old typewriter right there, and it had all the office materials there, and things have changed so much. I mean, the kids were enthralled at everything that they were seeing because, I mean, most of them were born in the 2000s, so you're going back to 1942, where all this stuff was decades ago, and to be able to see all this stuff like this just blew their minds.
With the windows low.
You too. You too.
Got no plans, just a radio. And the sand keeps calling like a postcard scene. I swear this life was made for you and me. And we're in a sun.
See, there's the stairs that you would have to climb up or climb down. It was a kind of a narrow walk, but you could do it. I mean, it's not so hardcore. I mean, once you get going. But if you have any difficulties with walking or things like that, climbing, it would be a little difficult for you to get up and down. But, you know, you take it slow.
Sad state of mind, where the waves don't care about time. With you, it all feels right. Even wrong turns shine. No clock, no rush, just sky so wide.
We had such a good
We're
time.
living in a sunset state of mind.
We had such a good time. It was so fun. It was hot, though, in parts of it.
A frisbee in the breeze.
There's an old welder.
There's a little while from the Salton Sea. Ice cream melting faster than we planned. But I wouldn't trade this mess for anything.
And here's the little area that I was telling you about
Still blowing
where you pay.
our
They had all these
shadows along.
airplanes in there.
The tide knows we belong. We're in a sunset state of mind, where the days all blur in sunshine. No work,
The old vehicles and stuff.
just peace we find on this stretch of coastline. Hearts unwind and troubles slide. We're living in a sunset state.
And that was New Orleans right there. There's the B-52 right there, common sense. That thing was huge. And the wings weren't even down. They had all kinds of stuff there. That's New Orleans, the view from our hotel.
Every life is a memory grown. We've got time and time's got plans to leave our footprints.
There's my family.
in the sand. Yeah, we're in a sunset state.
There's myself.
No rear view, just blue and kind. Forever starts where ocean meets sky. With your hand in mine.
And those of you that are football fans, that is the Superdome right there. We were in New Orleans at that point. New Orleans is an awesome town. I plan on going there for New Year's Eve. It should be a lot of fun.
So let's toast the days we can't
Hey, Walt.
Still living in a sunset state of mind.
We were at the souvenir shop. And if you don't know what hermit crabs are, they had painted the hermit crab shell, and that's what all those were in that little container, and that's the hermit crab.
Just you and I in our sunset state of mind.
See, all those are hermit crabs, and they've all been painted.
By the door, suitcase in the back. Maps got coffee stains.
We're playing with the GoPro at this point.
Chasing down the sun with the windows low. Got no plans, just a radio. And the sand keeps calling.
Man, it makes me miss this time. I miss summer. I love it. That's sad, live scan. That's sad.
We're in a sunset state of mind, where the waves don't care about time. With you, it all feels right. Even wrong turns shine. No clock, no rush, just sky so wide. We're living in a sunset state of mind. Laughing through a game.
The 2 days that we were supposed to stay, that's what I experienced. There was a storm that came through there, so it cut our beach time down by 2 days. But we went into the crime museum. I think I have these photos that are coming up. I hope you are enjoying this. If you are enjoying this, please hit the like, subscribe, and share button. And once again, the QR code up there is for the Feed More Food Pantry. This is for the breast cancer, and this is for the American Heart Association. So please hit the like button. And here we go.
A frisbee in the breeze. Your hair's a little wild from the Salton Sea.
That rain was coming down that morning. I was on the beach and I was filming, and all of a sudden it got dark. And I got caught in that rain.
Our shadows stretching long. Even the tide knows we belong.
It was a trip. I just got my GoPro, so I was playing with it. And this is me on a scooter right here. Okay, that's cool. I don't know about y'all, but this video is making me want to go back to this time. Making me want to go back to summertime. I don't know if y'all love summertime, but this summer wasn't really that hot. It was decent.
Flip-flops by the door, suitcase suitcase in the back. Maps got coffee stains, but we're still on track. Chasing down the sun with the windows low. Got no plans, just a radio.
I made my own video. I made my own music video to this song that I wrote. Yeah, it does suck. I jumped into the water. See the clouds. I mean, it was overcast most of the time. I definitely don't have that tan right now. That's crazy. And of course, they got to show off their muscles, bro. Told you I'm a big dude, man. Told you I'm a big guy. I caught them looking at the beer, and they looked at me like crazy. Right here, we're on Bourbon Street. Hey, April. Thank you for being here. Thank y'all for being here. I tripped my nephew out because we went by this strip club here in a minute. And I looked at this girl with the camera, and he's like, "Did you really film her?" That's my niece and nephew. Live Scan 2002 gave 5 memberships. Live Scan 2002 gifted 5 memberships. So they're the person who gave you the memberships. Thank you. If you want to thank them, they're the one that gave you the membership. These are my niece and nephews. They're not my kids. Right here, you're gonna see me point the camera right here. And my nephew's like, "Did you really point your camera at her?" I'm like, "Yeah." Oh. He's like, "Bro." And right here, they're giving my page a shout out. And this is in my shorts if you want to hear what he says. But they're giving my page a shout out. We're at the water park.
Flip-flops by the door, suitcase in the back. Maps got coffee stains, but we're still on track. Chasing down the sun with the windows low.
They might as well be my kids.
Just a radio.
This is cool right here. My oldest nephew.
Like a postcard scene.
He strapped the GoPro on him to go down that water slide.
We're in a sunset state of mind, where the waves don't care about time. With you,
Oh yeah.
it all feels right, even wrong turn shine. No clock, no rush, just sky so wide. We're living in a sun sunset state of mind. Laughing through a game of frisbee in the breeze. Your hair's a little wild from the Salton Sea. Ice cream melting faster than we planned, but I wouldn't trade this mess for anything, man. That boardwalk light's still glowing, our shadows stretching long. Even the tide knows.
We were mesmerized by the GoPro being under the water. I mean, like I said, I had just bought it, and you can see how clear the shots were. We're just messing with it under the water. It's like we were 5 years old with a new toy.
We belong. We're in a sunset state of mind.
I took them to this restaurant. It was like a bar and grill, and they were tripping out. This was in Little Rock, Arkansas.
Just peace we find on this stretch of coastline. Hearts unwind and troubles fly.
If you know what a Buc-ee's is, you know what a Buc-ee's is.
Sunset state of mind. Every mile we roam feels like home. Every laugh is a memory grown.
Yeah. Yes, I did. I did, JB.
We've got time and time's got plans to leave our footprints in the sand. Yeah, we're in a sunset state of mind. No rear view, just
Big Back 12.
forever starts where ocean meets sky, with your hand in mine. So let's toast the days we can't rewind. Still living in a sunset state of mind. Just you and I. We belong. We're in a sunset state of mind, where the days all blur.
Yeah, I did a live while I was there.
No stress, just peace we find on this stretch.
My nephew got bit by a jellyfish here at the ocean, and I swear we were there like an hour and 30 minutes, and he got bit. We went to urgent care because his arm was swelling up.
Every mile we
So
roam feels like home.
that ended my
Every
beach
laugh is a
trip.
memory grown. We've got time and time's got plans to leave our footprints in the
Yeah,
sand.
his arm was swelling up, so it scared me. I'd never seen that before.
State of mind.
Yeah, I'd never seen anybody's arm swelling up. So we went and got some white vinegar and some Tylenol. That's what the nurse told us to do. And it went away. But by the time we went back, it was raining already. So we got a little bit of sun and ocean time, but not a lot. Not like we were used to. I took them last year and they were hooked. Like they'd never been to an ocean before, that pretty, right? So they were hooked. They couldn't wait this year to go. It's like our yearly thing now. They're like, we're going to go, we're going to go. They can't wait. They love it. I was hoping to see like some fish or something, but couldn't see a lot. And this is the crime museum. It's called Alcatraz. Those are OJ's golf clubs, and that is OJ's Bronco. It's pretty cool. Well, the nurse said yeah, but that nobody really volunteered to pee on him. You know what I mean? Yeah, this was the crime museum, and it had a lot of true crime artifacts. That's what it looked like on the outside. This is in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. I thought I got more shots than that. That water felt so freaking good. And it was so clear. Y'all don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe and share if you're not already a subscriber. Yeah, we're almost to the end of the video. So that was that. So we talked about a lot tonight. I hope that y'all really enjoyed spending this evening with me. Once again, my name is 12 Gauge. If you're not a member of the channel, you're not a subscriber, and you think you might enjoy some of the stuff that we do, make sure you go back into the library and watch some of the older stuff. You'll see the progression of the channel. You'll see some of the ways that I outline the true crime stuff that I do talk about. Please be here Tuesday night. I have a surprise guest coming on, and I promise you will not be disappointed. She's been on my panel before. I'm not going to tell you who it is, but she is very informative. We're going to talk about the Oklahoma case where the individual got probation instead of the 78 years. And we're probably going to talk a little bit about Idaho 4. So we'll start about 8 p.m. Central Time. So make sure you mark your calendar and let people know that this is the place to be. It's a nice chill spot. PKC, look at you. 10 months. I thought you were a member longer than that. But it's weird how that happened. 10 months. Yeah, be here on Tuesday because I do have a surprise guest, and she is very knowledgeable, and she's very friendly, and she's very easy to speak to. So hope to see y'all here. And I hope that you enjoyed the evening with me because I enjoyed the evening with you. Y'all have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your evening. And just remember, don't sweat the small stuff. Life is too short. We have a lot of things going on in this world that we can't control. Try to hold the people closest to you to your heart and be kind to yourself because you deserve it. Y'all have a wonderful night. Maestro, cue that music.